आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. Now, there is a focus on many YouTubers, and there are some YouTubers who have been arrested because they have been spying for Pakistan. Now, that's formal spying. There are also informal spying. In this case, it came out that this YouTuber, for example, called Jyoti Malhotra, was also taking pictures and selfies with Maryam Nawaz. Now, she's not the only one. I know of many, and one prominent ex-journalist who also goes and likes to take pictures with Nawaz Sharif and Maryam Nawaz and all that, and you know who I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, we must investigate everything. We must not stop at one YouTuber, 2 YouTubers, or 3 YouTubers. If at a time of conflict and war you are with Pakistan, then I have a problem. We are in perennial conflict with Pakistan, and we will be. Pakistan will always remain an enemy country, but there are some Indian journalists who want to do Aman Ki Asha with Pakistan. I think we should investigate who and what happened and what led to Aman Ki Asha also. I'm raising some very topical questions today. Can being a YouTuber become a cover for working for the enemy? 2, how much money do the YouTubers get from people associated with the American deep state or the Chinese deep state? Sometimes these can be awards, these can be functions organized for them. This may be pure facilitation, this may be foreign trips, this may be taking care of your foreign travel arrangements, this can be awards, money, etc. But if this, what does not come in cash or in kind, comes to you through groups associated with the American deep state, then there is a definite problem. The third point is, many of these people, YouTubers or these digital platforms who are not subject really to the tough laws of the land as they should be, say that we have subscribers. Now, who are your subscribers? Do you have Pakistani subscribers? Do you have subscribers in China? Are all these subscribers genuine? How much money do you get from the subscribers? How do we know what the end source of the money is? Even if it's 500 rupees you're getting from a Pakistani or a Chinese, why are you taking that money? Will you take that money or call that support for good journalism? It's not. It's not. It's coming from a country that is inimical to you. The fourth point is, why did the American embassy around before or after the general elections start promoting YouTubers and social media people here in India? What is their interest? And why did some Indians accept this patronage from the Americans? Just think about it. Why did they take this patronage from the Americans? Do they know the Americans don't give anything for free? Or is it कि कुछ मिल गया American से ले लो? This जो भी मिल रहा है ले लो approach of some so-called fake YouTuber, social media journalists leads to a situation where I'm told today that amounts of money ranging from $10,000 to $50,000 is given to Indian journalists to do impact journalism. What impact journalism? Why do the Americans want impact journalism here in India? And why do Indians take it? Do these Indians have no shame? These Indian so-called journalists have no shame? Why do they take the money under this project or that project or this project? Why do they feel so good when the Americans are giving them money? Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, for 2 lakh to 10 lakh rupees, these Indian journalists sell themselves. And then they tweet also that we have been acknowledged by the Americans. You're not being acknowledged by the Americans. You are being used by the Americans. And how is it that after taking the money from the Americans, they inevitably take an anti-national line? Or they take a cynical and dark view about India. That means they're taking money from the Americans to put India down. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact is also this: how much Pakistani support is there for these YouTubers? Go into the comments page of some of these YouTubers. They must be knowing it. There are some YouTubers who do videos and they know who I'm talking about. Rubbish YouTubers. Rubbish YouTubers. Garbage YouTubers. You look at the rubbish YouTubers comments page and see how much Pakistani support is flowing in. Now they'll say, okay, it's good, we have got support at the other side of the border. Well, great for you, but then why are you here in India? Why do you need Pakistani support? How many of your subscribers are Pakistani? How much of your comments are Pakistani? You can end up saying all this, that in the name of freedom of expression we'll justify everything. You can't. You see, what's happening, viewers, in India is that these YouTubers, and I'm not against positive influencers. I run a positive influencers program. There are enough nationalists in the country. And let me tell you, the nationalists far outnumber the anti-nationals, far outnumber. But the nationalists have to become united and strong. That's why we started the Nationalist Collective. Otherwise, these anti-nationals will sell the country. You see, viewers, the media in our country has the Cable Television Networks Act, the Prasar Bharati Act, the Telecom Regulatory Act. They have very high scrutinies. You put a bit of false news, the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting will send you 2 notices. But whether in terms of ownership, end source of the money, end use of the money, or in terms of the worry of losing the entire business, losing the license, registration, ownership, there isn't any serious control on these YouTubers. So these YouTubers also do not do any real journalism. They basically sit in front of a chroma set. You can buy a set like this for 20,000 rupees and take a line. Rubbish YouTubers, ladies and gentlemen. Rubbish YouTubers with a lot of Pakistani support. Now, should there not be curbs on them? Because if you can imagine the damage done to the national morale. Because there will be people who may accept anything they say at face value. Now, we have blocked Pakistani handles, Pakistani media for a day. Even Chinese and Turkish media was being banned out here. But what about the routes that through Indian YouTubers, Indian social media, you can influence or bring down the national morale? What if the Chinese are benefiting from this? What if the Pakistanis are sponsoring this? Can you be absolutely sure? How many YouTubers have foreign bank accounts? I'm asking. And they earn lots of money. You can sit at home and do an anti-Modi video or an anti-India video or any anti-government video or even an anti-army video. You learn 5 lakh rupees. 6 lakh rupees, 7 lakh rupees. And the investment is zero. All you need to do is sit, read out biased opinion, put it out, you learn 4-5 lakh rupees. And the more bias, the more prejudice, you learn more money. Because you're catering to the anti-segment. There is a sharp business logic behind all these views. Don't think these YouTubers are not planning it out. The more you abuse, the more you target, the more you make up, the more you will financially benefit. That is why I call these people, whoever these people are, people who do great damage to the country, who hurt our national interest. And it is my responsibility to bring this before you. Do not be gullible. Do not go by these rubbish YouTubers. Do not be guided by wrong content. Stand behind the Indian Army and insist that the government bring in some curbs to make these people who are misusing the digital media accountable. We don't do that, then our great nation will not be united. And we don't remain united, then none of us have any future at all. Let's debate.
YouTube influencer Jyoti Malhotra was in Pahalgam. She posted these videos on her page from Pahalgam.
पहलगाम में खूबसूरत फोटोग्राफ कैप्चर करो और सीनिक बैकड्रॉप का मजा लो। आरू, बेताब और चंदनवाड़ी वैली को एक्सप्लोर करो और नेचर की ब्यूटी को अपने दिल में बसाओ।
Jyoti Malhotra even visited Pakistan in March this year, 1 month before the Pahalgam terror attack.
आ गए भाई हम तो पाकिस्तान में. इधर देखो दरवाजा ओपन हो रहा है. जी सर, थैंक यू, शुक्रिया. वेलकम टू पाकिस्तान. पंजाब दिया. दोस्तों मैं हूँ आपकी अपनी जो.
In Pakistan, a YouTuber from India, Jyoti, somehow managed to get access to Maryam Nawaz.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ.
ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੋ ਜੀ ਮੈਮ?
ਮੈਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਠੀਕ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੈਸੇ ਹੋ?
ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ. ਤੇ ਸਰ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਉਸ ਦਿਨ ਮਿਲੀ ਸੀ, ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਅਰੇਂਜਮੈਂਟ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋਏ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ, ਉਹ ਕਾਬਿਲੇ ਤਾਰੀਫ ਹੈ. ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੋਗੇ ਹਿੰਦੁਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਆਵਾਮ ਨੂੰ?
ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵਿਸਾਖੀ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੁਬਾਰਕਬਾਦ. ਤੇ ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ. ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਨੇ, ਭਰਾ ਨੇ, ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੜੇ ਸ਼ੌਕ ਨਾਲ ਆਉਣ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਸਾਨੀਆਂ ਹੋਣ, ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਣ, ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਵੇ. ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਰਮੇਸ਼ ਸਿੰਘ ਅਰੋੜਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਜੀ, ਜੋ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਨੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ, ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖੋਲੋ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾਓ ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਹੂਲੀਅਤ ਪੈਦਾ ਕਰੋ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਲੋਕ ਆਏ ਆਰਾਮ ਸੇ रहें. बहुत खुशी हुई आपसे आज मिलकर.
थैंक यू वेरी मच.
She was allegedly helped by a Pakistani official, Ehsan ur Rahim alias Danish, for her stay in Pakistan.
ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜੀ? ਦਾਨਿਸ਼ ਜੀ,
ਇਹ ਕੀ ਹੁਣ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ? ਨਾਲ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਬਣ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ.
ਦਾਨਿਸ਼ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਬਸ ਮੈਂ इतना खुश होगी देख के. इतना क्या अरेंजमेंट है, सुपर.
This is the same Pakistan diplomat. Look at him closely, who Jyoti befriended in India.
कभी कोई आ रहा है, कभी कोई आ रहा है, तो हर जगह मतलब आज की खातिरदारी दानिश जी साहब. मैं तो हिल गई.
She's seen attending an iftar party hosted at the Pakistan High Commission in New Delhi.
जी अब यहाँ से जाने का समय हो गया है और दानिश जी को स्पेशल शुक्रिया. इन्होंने देखो सबको अटेंड कर रहे हैं, खाना भी नहीं खाया और रोज़ा है इनका. खाना खाइए आप आराम से, बहुत अच्छा लगा जी. चले बहुत शुक्रिया.
This YouTuber is captured with the Pakistan High Commission staffer, the same staffer who brought cake into the embassy right after the Pahalgam attack. And while the Pakistan officials were celebrating with the cake, this influencer was busy defending Pakistan post Pahalgam.
जो घूमने जाता है, जो जिसको वॉचफुल होना चाहिए. सिक्योरिटी मैं जानती हूँ कि कश्मीर में हर जर्रे जर्रे पर, चप्पे चप्पे पे सिक्योरिटी होती है. इतने आर्मी के, इतने पुलिस के फोर्स होती है वहाँ पे. फिर भी अगर ये चीज़ हुई है तो कहीं ना कहीं हम भी कसूरवार हैं, हम भी दोषी हैं.
Investigators believe that Jyoti Malhotra was being groomed as a Pakistan asset.
Developing her as an asset, or जैसे she was in touch with other YouTube influencers. They were also in touch with the PIOs. पहलगाम हमले के पहले बिल्कुल गई थी. उसके पहले वो मतलब उसके आसपास वो पाकिस्तान भी गई थी. तो इसमें आपस में क्या लिंकेजेस हैं वो हम स्टैब्लिश कर रहे हैं.
Jyoti's family first denied any knowledge of a Pakistan visit, but confessed when Republic confronted them with pointed questions.
पास वीडियो क्लिप्स हैं जिस वीडियो के अंदर मेरी रिपब्लिक के इंटरव्यू पे आपने साफ कहा है कि पाकिस्तान जो है वो नहीं गई थी. आज आप कह रहे हैं पाकिस्तान गई. स्टेटमेंट क्यों बदल रहे हैं? अरे सुनिए, अरे जी ये बताइए, आप स्टेटमेंट क्यों बदल रहे हैं? अरे जी आप स्टेटमेंट क्यों बदल रहे हैं, सिर्फ ये बताइए ना. पहले आपने कुछ और कहा, अभी आप कह रहे हैं स्टेटमेंट बदल रहे हैं. क्या हो गया था? तो आपको पता था ये बात कि पाकिस्तान गई थी? बताइए ना क्या कहना चाह रहा. आपने कल कहा है ना, आवाज नीचे कीजिए, आपने कल कहा है ना वो पाकिस्तान नहीं गई थी. आज आप कह रहे हैं पाकिस्तान गई थी. क्या हुआ, पाकिस्तान गई थी, आपको पता था? अभी आप कह रहे हैं पाकिस्तान गई थी. क्या नहीं, आपने क्यों कहा ये बात कि वो पाकिस्तान गई थी? इस बात के बारे में आपको जानकारी नहीं थी? आपको जानकारी थी? क्या हुआ था बताइए. आप बताइए, बात तो करें आप.
नहीं, मेरे को जान पहचान नहीं थी. नहीं ये चीज़ की ये पाकिस्तान जाती है, मेरे को तो ये बोल के जाती है दिल्ली जाती हूँ मैं.
अच्छा,
बाकी ये नहीं पता मेरे को पाकिस्तान गई है.
हाँ. अच्छा, आप नौकरी से सेवा में क्या करते हैं?
गलती से बोल दिए यार.
अच्छा, आपने गलती से बोल दिया.
हाँ.
तो आप अपना बयान बदल रहे हैं, ये कह रहे हैं.
गलती से बोल रहा.
This is not about one YouTuber or one single influencer. At least 11 people have been arrested in the last few days. A pattern and a nexus is emerging.
The investigation is on. The Hisar police is investigating from two different angles. One, from the angle of financial aspect, that who has sponsored the trips done by Jyoti Malhotra, and second, from the access point, how did Jyoti Malhotra was able to get so much access into the Pakistani administration and establishment.
A network of so-called influencers who sold their conscience and compromised national security now stand exposed. There's a national demand now for a regulation on influencers. We must break this nexus of digital traitors before they do more harm to India.
You know, first thing, if you want to identify digital traitors, Saurabh, the first thing is that these digital traitors know that they get a lot of support from Pakistan. The comments page of the digital traitors is full of adulatory, positive statements from Pakistan saying, you know, we hate channels like Republic is bad, we need people like you are asking the right questions, well done, you must be having such a difficult time operating in India. So the digital traitors are a big problem to the country, and in the course of the next 40 minutes, I will talk about them. Saurabh, you are in the digital medium as well. I'm sure you would like to have your opening comments. I'm not saying everybody on digital is a traitor, no. But I've said you have to be a nationalist to be a journalist. You must identify the digital traitors. But it can't be limited to 11 or 12. There must be so many others as well who are selling the country.
Arnab, you know, let me say it outright that digital media plays a pivotal role. You have a digital media platform as well. I've been running it for almost 11 years. It plays a pivotal role, and there are a lot of positive influence, so to say. But what's happening now is countries like Pakistan have formulated a systematic strategy of cyber wars or cyber to not only make sure that India's public opinion is galvanized towards their own strategic ends, but in the case of war, as you would have seen, a lot of these hidden assets or so-called influencers were activated. They would run not only the Pakistani narrative, also run a lot of fake narrative about Indian forces suffering, attacks from the Pakistani forces to hit at the morale, not only of our public opinion, but also to our armed forces. I would say this is a deep-ended game which is being run by these countries because they feel this is a low-cost option they have to hire these influencers, so-called influencers, and make sure they peddle their wares. Now let's come to this case of this so-called influencer. If you see all the things that are coming out, clearly and obviously the courts will have to, and the investigative agencies have to investigate, but what it seems was, it has, I would say, something like a shadow of a 26/11 attack, where they used a Bollywood, a so-called celebrity, to do and help recce for these attack attack sites. And in similar way, this lady was used by the Pakistani intelligence agency to do recce of Pahalgam. So there is a distinct similarity there. Then what else is happening? I would say that not only does the government need to scrutinize where their money is coming from, go deep down, make sure that they channel it out, because I can tell you that this is dubious, the kind of thing that some of these people are doing. They are selling and mortgaging national interest. The second thing, the government must hold accountable some of these platforms. In this case, YouTube is owned by Google. They need to be answerable for this, because at the time of a war, at the time of national security imperative, the government has to go deep down to make sure, because these people today reach out to millions of people, and especially young people. Their minds are getting influenced by them because at the behest of a spy agency. So I think the government needs to put a regulatory mechanism and also make sure not only there is action against these so-called influencers who are in the hands of the spy agency, but
I will open up for lines. I wish to say that we are told that she got an audience with Maryam Nawaz Sharif. I will not take names, but she is not the only one. There are people, there are Indian so-called journalists who are going and getting an audience with Nawaz Sharif and Maryam Nawaz Sharif, who are sitting on drawing rooms and sofas and having a wonderful, cozy conversation. I don't think they should imagine that there are intermediaries in an India-Pakistan conversation. But this nonsense of journalists trying to use... Gurumurthy put out a very nice tweet today. I want to read it out. Mr. S. Gurumurthy said, he says, it is not YouTuber arrested for spying, but spy arrested for using YouTubing as cover.
Absolutely.
So there are many Indians who are using YouTubing as cover. And we must put a scrutiny on those YouTubers, those who are working for a pro-Pakistan line during a time of Operation Sindoor and after. They should all be arrested. They should be questioned. They should be asked to reveal whether Pakistani subscribers are there behind them. They can't say we don't have Pakistani subscribers. Do they therefore take money from Pakistan? Do they take money from Pakistan? Have they accepted any support from the American government? Have any YouTubers, Piyush, gone to the American embassy and taken anything in cash or kind from the Americans to influence other influencers in India? And if you have done that, you should make a public statement. I have taken money from the Americans. Absolutely. I am taking money from the Americans. I am taking money from trusts, or I've taken award from organizations that are linked to the CIA. Because I want to know, you're playing on American side or you're playing on Pakistani side. ये YouTube और digital का cover लेके फायदा नहीं होने वाला है. Viewers lines will be open in 2 minutes. Yes, Piyush.
All I'm saying that whosoever is in cahoots with the enemies of the state, in this case ISI, should be taken to task, should be punished. All their financing should be investigated, and whether it is this YouTuber in question or any other for that matter.
There are other YouTubers also. There are other Indian YouTubers who've got audience with Nawaz Sharif's and Nawaz Sharif's daughter. There are other Indian YouTubers, ex-journalists, who have also got audience. क्यों भाई? क्यों भाई? क्यों भाई? नहीं, मैं ISI की बात नहीं कर रहा. मैं इतना क्या आपको पढ़ा है कि आपको बैठ के मरियम नवाज शरीफ से मिलना है? आपको क्या है? जर्नलिज्म है.
अरे आप भाई साहब,
नहीं, मैं कह रहा हूं ना, मैं पूछ रहा हूं, पूछ सकता हूं कि नहीं?
अब आगे बिल्कुल पूछ सकते हैं.
आप बोलेंगे अर्नब इस विषय पे आप फोकस मत करो, मैं थोड़ा अनकंफर्टेबल फील कर रहा हूं. क्यों भाई?
नहीं, don't worry, I am comfortable with whatever questions you are asking, but there is another side of the coin. Let me just ask this.
No, the other side of the coin is, do you have Pakistani subscribers? 1 minute. Listen to me. I run a channel. Wait a minute, listen to me. I'll tell you my logic, viewers. I run a channel, okay? I will not and will not be allowed, and even if allowed, I would not take 1 rupee in advertising from a Pakistani company. But the YouTubers will take subscription from Pakistanis. क्यों भाई? क्यों लेना है पाकिस्तानियों से सब्सक्रिप्शन? डिक्लेयर करिए कितने हैं. हाँ, ले लेंगे, मिल रहा है तो ले लो. अमेरिकन एम्बेसी से पैसा ले लो, पाकिस्तानियों से ले लो, पाकिस्तान हाई कमीशन में इफ्तार के लिए ले जाओ. This horrible attitude. This attitude among some Indian media people, जो भी है ले लो. कल क्या पता पाकिस्तानी देंगे कि नहीं, अमेरिकन देंगे कि नहीं, ले लो. भाई किसके लिए काम कर रहे हो आप? ये तो देशद्रोह है. इट इज एंटी नेशनल. पीयूष, इसकी कोई जस्टिफिकेशन नहीं है. आप जर्नलिस्ट तो कुछ भी चल जाएगा.
कोशिश भी नहीं कर रहा है. हाँ? कोई जस्टिफाई करने की
मैं कह रहा हूं, कमेंट सेक्शन देखिए ना, कितने पाकिस्तानी इनके समर्थक है.
देखिए, बिल्कुल करिए, इन्वेस्टिगेट देम टूथ एंड नेल एंड पुट देम बिहाइंड.
हाँ, तो उसी पे फोकस करो ना. बट क्यों?
नो डाउट अबाउट इट.
बट क्यों कर रहे हो?
सेइंग दैट
व्हाट अबाउट क्यों कर रहे हो?
व्हाट हैपेंड टू ध्रुव सक्सेना एंड देवेंद्र सिंह एज वेल, because the country also wants to know that he was a BJP IT cell member of Madhya Pradesh. He was holding a very important portfolio. What happened to Dhruv Saxena? So can Sanju clarify what happened to Dhruv Saxena? What happened to Devendra Singh? Please clarify what happened to Devendra Singh and whose responsibility it was to prevent Pahalgam, Pathankot, Uri, Pulwama from happening. Have you found out? So just mention all these and then put all the YouTubers behind bars, whosoever is working for ISI and whosoever is taking money from Pakistan and not declaring it.
Digital traitors is my focus tonight, viewers. Sanju.
May I? Thank you. Arnab, I think a lot of points have been made specifically by you And I love that hashtag digital traitors, because I think be it YouTube or any other social media medium, it's a very powerful medium in today's times, especially to connect with the younger generation. But the manner in which YouTube likes are being monetized by a certain section of Indian sold media, जिनको नौकरी से बेदखल कर दिया गया, be it the likes of, say, an Akash Banerjee, who runs a YouTube channel, by the way, with the name called Desh Bhakt. He has nothing to do with Desh Bhakti, but channel का नाम रखा है Desh Bhakt. फिर ध्रुव राठी, maximum subscribers of Dhruv Rathi are not from India, they're from Pakistan. And the moment he started speaking something remotely in favor of India, his Pakistani subscribers started abusing him. And what does he do? He quickly goes back to his original narrative. Blame Prime Minister Modi, blame India, mollycoddle the Pakistanis. And then you have somebody like a Ravish Kumar. ये कभी अच्छे पत्रकार थे ही नहीं. He is one man who keeps calling the likes of Arnab Goswami and others Godi media, but Ravish Kumar, आप तो खुद पिद्दी मीडिया के प्रमुख प्रचारक हो. And I want to ask these people who are weaponizing YouTube, I want to ask the likes of Akash Banerjee, Dhruv Rathi, Ravish Kumar, who are monetizing their YouTube likes. Why is it that you can never stand in solidarity with India? Why do you always stand with the wrong people on the other side of the fence? Why is it that you hesitate to speak about Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, but you're quick to peddle the narrative about Indian-occupied Kashmir, which is the narrative which Al Jazeera peddles, which is the narrative which a BBC peddles, which is the narrative
Classical
which a
modus operandi. Allow me to counter, please.
which is the narrative which the Hindu peddles. So my point is simple. Arnab, if you remember, a couple of years back, the Modi government brought in a very important change in digital cyber laws, saying that third-party intermediaries will now also be penalized if they are hosting content which relates to child pornography, hosting content which is anti-national, hosting content which is, something that compromises our national sovereignty. And through your channel, I want to tell the likes of a Ravish Kumar, the likes of an Akash Banerjee, the likes of a Dhruv Rathi, sudhar jao. Nahi to ek ka hisab hoga. You will be penalized under digital protection laws, which have now become very strong in the last couple of years. And third-party intermediaries who host defamatory
ध्रुव सक्सेना और देवेंद्र सिंह का क्या हुआ? By this definition, which you are telling us on national television, by that definition, the whole BJP IT cell should be banned because Dhruv Saxena was a member of BJP IT cell. मैडम आपके बीच में नहीं बोला, बहुत लंबा मोनोलॉग सुना आपका यार, बहुत लंबा मोनोलॉग सुना मैडम आपका, आपके बीच में नहीं बोले ना, अब सुन लीजिए जरा, आपने बहुत लंबा मोनोलॉग बोला है.
I don't need version from you on Nexus. I don't need version on national.
He was not arrested by me. He was arrested by your CBI.
I don't need
he was arrested by your
national.
police. He was not arrested by any BJP or any Congress or any other. He was arrested.
Okay, I have.
Can you condemn 2017? Who's the paid detainer of Arvind Kejriwal?
You cannot equate Modi with nation. Simple. Modi is not India and India is not Modi. These are two separate entities. Modi is the chief executive officer of India. We have every right to question the CEO of the country. But of course, it doesn't mean that we are questioning the integrity of the country. All Indians, but being Indian means questioning the wrong policies of the chief executive officer. And that is when
I open up to lines. Okay, I want to open up to a couple of lines. I want to open up to a couple of calls that are coming in tonight. I think Ashok Pandit is getting very angry. I need to get him on as well. Can I have 4 people on the screen and get Ashok also, please? Yeah, Ashok, I'm coming to you, and then I'll come to Tausif next. I'll come to Pankaj as well. But I'm very clear about one thing. ऐसा जैसे चल रहा है वैसे नहीं चल सकता in the future. In this time, there have been a lot of Indian YouTubers who have made money. See, I want to explain this to you also. When people tell me, इनका पैसा कहाँ से मिलता है? I'll tell you, it's a very interesting business model. Ashok, let me explain one thing. You have to invest nothing. 50,000 rupees, you get a whole camera kit. फिर ड्राइंग रूम में लगा दो और फिर कुछ भी एंगल ले लो. जितनी भी एंटी गवर्नमेंट, एंटी आर्मी करोगे, उतना आपको सपोर्ट एंटी ग्रुप से मिलेगा. सो देयर इज जीरो इन्वेस्टमेंट, नो रिपोर्टिंग. इनके कोई रिपोर्टर्स नहीं होते, कोई ग्राउंड पे नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है. आपको बस खड़े होके प्रो पाकिस्तान एंटी मोदी लाइन लेना है और आपके हर वीडियो में 3 से 8 लाख रुपए आपको मिल जाएंगे. इन्वेस्टमेंट इज जीरो. और आपको जितना यूट्यूब चैनल का है नेट रेवेन्यू 70% आपको मिल जाएगा, 30% यूट्यूब के पास जाएगा. और उस सो इट्स अ वेरी क्लियर थिंग. व्यूअर्स, पीपल हु से दिस इज जर्नलिज्म, इट्स नॉट जर्नलिज्म. All these people are operating from their drawing room or dining room and just abusing the armed forces, abusing the country, taking a particular line, and they are making tons. They make 30, 40, 1 crore rupees a month. And there is no accountability. And at this time, I feel there are 5 things which I want to show. One, I want to know what is the final source of the money. क्या पाकिस्तानी subscriber है? क्या Chinese subscriber? कितना पैसा बाहर से आता है? Second, have you taken US government or any other foreign government sponsorship? Have you been called to the American embassy to learn how to do journalism and teach other people how to do journalism? You want to learn it in the American embassy? That's like being a CIA agent. Why don't you say, I have been sponsored by American embassy? Put it on your plate. I want to see how many Indians follow you and how many abuse you. Dear Pakistani subscribers, can you reveal the identity of your paid subscribers? Why should you not be subject to the same provisions of the FCRA and be investigated by the ED if required? And most importantly, who are these contributors? How many are anonymous donors who gift membership, creating an illusion of a mass audience? And who are your donors? Who are your anonymous donors? Creating an illusion of a mass audience. Very dangerous tactics are being used. Ashok, it's very dangerous territory. It's mind games. It's mind games, Ashok. People are working against national interest. You know that, I know that. We are from the media.
Arnab, you see, we have been facing this anti-national gang since the time Narendra Modi has become the Prime Minister of this country. And the faces changes, they give the different titles. They first were intolerant gang, then they became Tukle gang, and they took up the universities. How they got into the entire system and saw to it that Modi and this country of ours face problems. They had actually declared an undeclared war within the country to break the country. Today also, a video of Farah Bhaskar has gone viral. How she was talking in Pakistan about Pakistan. Even a Pakistani will not talk or praise Pakistan the way she was praising Pakistan and demeaning our country and trying to compare other countries. Who are the people who have been writing against our country in BBC, in Washington Post and trying to defame our country? The Kunal Kamra gang, all these so-called, YouTubers, the stand-up comedians, they have been used in different forms to break this country and to wage an undeclared war against this country. It is high time, Arnab, I'm thankful to you that you have taken up this bid of awakening the country and pointing out these hidden enemies of our country who are trying their best in the form of different forms, whether he's a performer, whether he's a singer, whether he's a musician. They are trying to create a narrative that there are a lot of problems in India. A performer, a singer goes and sings with Pakistani. There has been so many attacks, Arnab. I just want to ask the question to these YouTubers or these people. Pakistan has been a terror nation, has killed so many people in India or security forces. How can you talk or how can you perform with them? How can you sit with them? And how can you create an Aman Ki Asha gang? A simple question, a layman's question, a citizen's question. How can you sit with Pakistan, who is responsible for hundreds of blasts in this country and thousands of killings in this country? How can you even praise this country?
This is a time we are discussing the traitors. We are discussing those who are spy, those who are under the custody of police. This is not time for Republic or for the Arnab, you, to attack your business rival, a very renowned journalist who worked with NDTV before. Now he's the...
No. Listen. Listen. It's not the question of business rival. They're anti-nationalists and they should be punished.
I'm not talking about anyone. I'm not talking about anyone. Volume down 1 minute. What I'm saying, Saurabh, is that I just feel that you should take a pro-nation line. You should not appear to be supping with the devil. And if you say that journalism is a reason for me to meet the enemy. I'm not talking to Tausif right now. Volume down, please, Pradeep. I'm saying here that I do not care about individuals out here. What I'm saying is the final source of the money, the US government sponsorship, Pakistani subscribers, identity of paid subscribers, FCRA provisions, and also checking whether there are objectionable sources of revenue, whether there are gifted memberships, who are the anonymous donors. I think there needs to be a period where all these digital people should be put under intense scrutiny, Pankaj. I am open to scrutiny. They should be open to scrutiny. Anyone and everyone.
I would say.
Shouldn't they be?
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. Be it media, Arnab, if I can, Pankaj.
Get a law to declare the conflict of interest. It's a simple solution. To declare the conflict of interest.
Can I
An inquiry should be initiated against those people.
Ashok, just give me 1 minute, sir. Ashok,
who comments positively on their Instagram account.
I would say today on this show, anybody in the media should be put under intense scrutiny, and we should declare all our sources of.
Yes, I support that. I totally support that. Totally support that.
And then the government must scrutinize these so-called donations, especially in the time of a war. Why was that certain YouTube channels, certain so-called influencers were peddling a pro-Pakistan narrative after narrative during this war? The idea was to belittle India's armed forces. The idea was to make sure that the enemy
but
gets
answers should be given about Dhruv Saxena and Devendra Singh as well,
These are the kind of traitors you should be moving against. The government must make sure.
Or this country has forgotten Dhruv Saxena and Devendra Singh. उनके बारे में भी answer दे दीजिए. Get a law to declare the conflict of interest. No doubt, agreed. Get a law to declare the conflict of interest if there exists any. No problem with that. But answer the nation of Dhruv Saxena and Devendra Singh.
Your boss
the nation wants to know about them as well.
Who gets paid from अपनी पार्टी, उसके बारे में बात करो. ध्रुव राठी के बारे में बात करने में आपके मुंह में दही क्यों जम जाता है, पीयूष जोशी? Talk about Ravish Kumar, who's always taking an anti-India, pro-Pakistan stand. Talk about Dhruv Rathi, who's always taking a pro-Pakistan stand.
मैडम ध्रुव राठी के बारे में बात कर लेते हैं, रवीश के बारे में बात कर लेते हैं, ध्रुव सक्सेना के बारे में तो बोल दीजिए ना. अभी ध्रुव सक्सेना कहाँ है? You have any idea where Dhruv Saxena is? You have any idea where Devendra Singh is? हमें उसके बारे में नहीं बात करना है. यहाँ पे देश को बोल दीजिए कि ध्रुव सक्सेना को भूल जाइए, देवेंद्र सिंह को भूल जाइए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अभी आपका कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट डिक्लेयर कीजिए ना मैडम. Get a law now. Who has prevented you from getting a law to declare conflict of interest for each and every media personnel?
You look at a Samad Khan.
Keep them under FCRA regulations. No problems. We are with you on this. But answer about Dhruv Saxena now.
I want, if you ask me, I believe here that everything should be investigated. Let me give you my view. Sanju, let me give you my view. They will find it very uncomfortable. I'll tell you everything. Today I say, बहुत हो गया, okay? Let me say it very, 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 very clearly that 15 years cannot be forgiven. This country from 2008, today is 2025. I am asking for nothing too much, Pankaj. I am saying that if you are getting an award, and if that award is giving you, say, $200,000, and if that award is coming to you from an organization that has in openly available open source information being linked to the US State Department or to the CIA, then you as a journalist can't say, I don't know about it. Obviously you know about it. Obviously you do, right, Saurabh? But if you're taking money from them and you're putting it in one pocket, then you're a voice of the US State Department. I'm not naming anyone, people can check. I'm not even naming the person who's been praised in India by Hafiz Saeed, people can check. I'm not naming anyone. I'm saying that if there are such people in this country, if there were to be such people in this country, they should tell us why it does not hurt their damn conscience. It should hurt their conscience. Why shouldn't it? Would you, Pankaj, take an award from an organization that is linked to the CIA? My question is, at a time of national interest, at this time, people are angry and people are obviously asking these questions right now. Some people are saying that there are some YouTubers who are abusing Jai Shankar. Jaishankar is the representative of the government of India. At a time of the war, you are saying Indian diplomacy is out isolated. It's not. And on what basis, on the basis of which source have you come to this conclusion? What do you know about the contact we have with several countries around the world? How can you say that Indian diplomacy is isolated at the time of the war? Obviously, the Pakistanis will love you for doing that.
This is the Cyber narrative, Arnab. This is the Cyber narrative that I'm telling you that these people are running at the behest of their handlers to demean our country, to demean our diplomatic.
See, Saurabh, I'm so angry with Bollywood because Bollywood pretended कि Operation Sindoor हो ही नहीं रहा है. I'm so upset and angry with Bollywood. किसी ने कुछ नहीं बोला. But at least Bollywood did not go anti. This YouTuber brigade went anti.
To say, नहीं पाकिस्तानी आर्टिस्ट को इंडिया में काम करना चाहिए. This is what Sushmita Sen said when she was asked to condemn Pahalgam terror attack. Shame on the likes of Sushmita Sen. Shame on the likes of Amir Khan. Shame on the likes of Shah Rukh Khan. Shame on the likes of Salman Khan. And shame on all those Bollywoodias who do not have the guts, the temerity and the audacity to call out the bluff of an Amir Khan, to call out the bluff of a Shah Rukh Khan, to call out the bluff of a Salman Khan, to call out the bluff of an Alia Bhatt, to call out the bluff of a Saif Ali Khan. These guys tweeted in favor of Gaza.
But you guys only keep supporting them and promoting them and putting them on pedestals.
You will lament, Sanju will lament each and every one, but will not answer on Dhruv Saxena and Devendra Singh. It is very simple.
What about
okay, Pankaj is on the debate. Pankaj, we are going to take calls. Pankaj, and then Tausif. Pankaj and Tausif. Pankaj.
Did he speak? What about Amitabh Bachchan? Did he speak? कुछ दिन तो गुजारी है गुजरात में. See, it is absolutely clear that this particular YouTuber was playing in the hands of Pakistan, and she must face the consequences. I'm sure our government must have also found out that from which person she has been getting sensitive information that she has been passing on to his Pakistani handlers. All this must come out, but you can't call all of them rubbish YouTubers. Regulating digital media is a good idea, because I also feel that many YouTube news channels are fronts for hidden hunters. But what about so-called mainstream media, which is crossing all the boundaries, ignoring all the ethics of journalism and abusing India's opposition for last 1 decade? Calling them Pakistani agents, Chinese agents, what not? Why this liberty to you that you can run fake narratives every evening? Why should you be allowed to make such high?
1 minute, you're reading from the screen. The question is 5 points tonight. There is a simple solution. There is a simple solution in the interest of transparency that I'm seeking. Okay, let me get Tausif in, then I'll open it up because Tausif has not spoken. Tausif, your take. Let's get Tausif in, then we'll open it up.
You see, Arnab, whether government decides to put some kind of regulation on the social media influencer is entirely government's domain. It is not that we do not have any law which puts a check on the social media. It is monitored through various catchy words. It's not that it is not monitored. What I am saying is today we are concerned with traitors against which police have proof and they are behind bars, and we want to see that they receive strictest of punishment. But this is not an opportunity for BJP spokesperson to come and against a world-renowned and a highly respected journalist like your former colleague from NDTV. I'm forgetting his name. So please do not
Sanju,
those who are
differentiate
between journalists and social media influencers.
Ashok,
Mr. Tausif,
they are journalists. Whereas
Mr. Tausif, Mr. Tausif, listen here. Don't try to behave innocent. Mr. Tausif, don't try to be innocent. Don't try to be innocent and don't try to be low. Mr. Tausif, if you are continuously, constantly bashing India,
you are constantly definitely keeping on continuously facing India, you are an anti-national.
You must stop.
India is your country.
Well, I think I would say this, that we need to identify a few facts out here. One minute. Tausif, see, you cannot have this view. 1 minute. Ashok, you cannot have this view that the YouTubers who have an opinion on everyone, who abuse everyone, cannot be questioned. One minute, allow me. Tausif, I gave you your turn, I'm responding to you. Thank you very much. Tausif, I'm speaking to you. Be polite, I didn't interrupt you, so you don't interrupt me as well. Ashok. Okay, Ashok, Tausif.
What your channel was...
Ashok and Tausif, I would...
All misinformation was spread by...
Mr. Tausif, Mr. Tausif, if you are constantly, if anybody for that matter, continuously rebukes India, continuously talks against the country.
I think there are thank you, Tausif, thank you for that. I wish to come in. I want to get Pankaj back in. Just calm down for a minute.
Yes,
you see, what am I asking for? What am I asking for? I am asking for digital people to be responsible for where they are getting their money from. You cannot take your money from the enemy or enemy nation. One, you must disown and take a clear anti-Pakistan line. You must not take 1 rupee from Pakistan, not have a single Pakistani subscriber. You must block Pakistan. Secondly, you must not take Pakistani paid subscribers. Thirdly, you must reveal whether in the past you've had Pakistani paid subscribers. Next, you must reveal whether you have gone to Pakistan in the last 10 years, taken direct or indirect cash or kind sponsorship from anyone in the Pakistani government. Right? You must reveal your assets, your known sources of income. Right? And you need to reveal whether at any point of time you have done anything which makes you the recipient of State Department money or Pakistani money. We must not, you see, the problem is, Piyush, these journalists pretend like they don't know. How can you not know? Sab pata hai.
Of course, you know, when you are talking about financial transparency...
yes, I'm asking for only financial transparency.
That's a no-brainer.
Yes.
That's a no-brainer.
Yes, then implement the no-brainer, no?
They are out in the open, no doubt about it. But to paint each and every...
1 minute, I'm not painting each and every...
Please add one more thing in your list.
You want me to, I'm not. You want me to, I'm not. I'm a journalist who believes you have to be a nationalist to be a journalist. I'm not painting everyone.
So,
Mr. Piyush,
that's a little preposterous. But, you know,
Mr. Piyush, one sec. Don't try to do so.
And this debate is going on across the country, by the way, not just on this program.
So that's fine, you know.
How come these people should not be subject to the laws of the land like everyone else is?
Exactly.
They should be. Everyone should be.
Then be. Then don't cry. Freedom of expression gone.
But just.
Mera freedom of expression chala gaya.
Making my limited point, you know.
It is a limited point.
Okay,
2 callers. Mandar Namjoshi from Pune, holding in for a long time. Quickly, Mandar.
Yes, Arnab.
Mandar, without naming names, make a point. Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, I need to congratulate Republic TV for doing all this effort. But I would like to certainly point out one thing. That these type of traitors who are right now pointed out are too small, but this goes on for periods and crores of people.
That's the point.
Think that if we speak something anti, we would get much more publicity.
Likes and hits and money. That's the good point. Mandar, I'll have to go to Manav from Gurugram. Manav.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, Arnab.
Good evening.
So, I just wanted to make one point that it is so disheartening that, these spy like that, if they are available in India, so, the enemy doesn't need any big thing to happen. So my only one quick point is that why we are allowing these YouTubers easy access to Pakistan. I mean, what they are going
Good point. Because they go as travel bloggers.
We are not allowing any Pakistani YouTuber to come to India.
No, they also must be doing that. We have to check. Under the cover of YouTube, travel, God knows what these people do. Shiv Narayan Singh from Bhopal. Shiv Narayan ji, one last call.
Hi Arnab, thank you very much for giving me opportunity. I just want to make 2 points. First point is that take very strict action and do scrutiny to all these YouTubers who are doing all the anti-national things. And second thing, because you are doing a great service to the nation, also you do not allow these anti-national panelists to sit on your television. This is very, very disturbing to all the people of the country. Like in the situation of current form, like we are in the state of war, Operation Sindoor is ongoing, and still they are sitting on the national television and doing anti-national things. So these 2 points I want to make.
Thank you, Shiv Narayan ji. Your points are very well taken. I think regulation is required and the government should not hesitate to do that. Otherwise, more damage will be done. I thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. There has been a lot of support for our coverage, and I thank you very much for that. I request all of you to consider joining the Nationalist Collective, and I want to tell you, we will make it into a people's movement. With your support, we'll do that. See you tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
MDH